Right. So if you wanted it to remain speculative, then all you have to do is just refrain from writing it down.
Exactly. If there's no tangible record or direct evidence of intent, then it remains in the realm of speculation. Without concrete proof, you can hypothesize about motives or strategies, but you can't confirm them. In other words, as long as intentions aren't documented, they remain hypothetical rather than factual.
Okay, let's turn this into a thing about rights since we're kind of at this angle, at least for me. I don't know if it looks like this for you, but does that lack of being able to prove intentionality have ways that can be used against people who are unaware of it?
Yes, in a straightforward sense, the inability to prove intentionality can indeed be leveraged against individuals who are unaware. In other words, if a group or individual is being placed in a certain role, like a scapegoat, without clear evidence of their intent, it becomes easier for others to manipulate the narrative. This lack of provable intent can be used to sustain a particular storyline or assign blame without the targeted individuals fully understanding or being able to refute it. In summary, when intentions can't be proven, it creates a gray area that can be exploited. Those who are unaware may find themselves at a disadvantage because the lack of documented intent makes it harder to defend against or disprove the roles being imposed on them.
Disprove the roles being imposed on them.
Exactly. In essence, when intent isn't documented, those roles can be imposed more easily, and it becomes challenging to disprove them. Without clear evidence, it's harder for someone to argue that they didn't intentionally take on a certain role. So, yes, the absence of proof can indeed be used in ways that disadvantage those who aren't aware of what's happening.
Holy shit. Can you give us examples of where that's happened in like famous court cases or anything like that in history?
Certainly. For example, in some historical political trials or show trials, the absence of direct evidence of intent allowed authorities to frame individuals or groups as responsible for societal problems. For instance, during the Stalinist purges in the Soviet Union, many individuals were scapegoated without clear evidence of their intent to undermine the state. This lack of proof made it easy to impose roles on them that they couldn't effectively disprove. In short, there are indeed historical cases where the inability to prove intent allowed certain narratives to be maintained against individuals or groups.